welcome back to my channel with negative 5,000 subscribers. Um, Today I wanted to make a video on recognizing the signs that mania is about to begin in bipolar disorder. Whenever you're bipolar, whether you're medicated or not, you're still going to have episodes, and in therapy a lot of the times, or your psychiatrist will want you to recognize the triggers as to why it happens. And it's really easy to say, oh, I don't know why it happens, it just happens. But I used to be one of those people, but when I really started analyzing what was going on in my life, especially whenever I was properly medicated and episodes really weren't a normal thing for me, I really had to start paying attention to my life, not even just days before, but weeks before, as to what was leading up to it. And that's what any patient with bipolar or a bipolar spectrum disorder should do. I'm petting my cat who likes to get in all of these videos. But what I noticed was that stress or change in routine, but mainly stress, change in routine is kind of vague, is a trigger for me. And not just minor stress, but a major stressor, something that really eats at my mind and bothers me for a while. Within like a week or two, I am going to become manic, regardless of being medicated, regardless of what I do to try to stop it. It's just going to happen. But stress is indeed one of my biggest triggers. You may take a look at your life and you may think that stress also triggers it. You could look at drug use. Are you using drugs? Have you been using drugs that you're not used to? You could look at your job situation. Has something changed? Has your routine changed? You could look at your interpersonal relationships. Has someone been inconsistent? Is interaction you had with someone bothering you? Because these things all seem so minor and like something that everybody goes through, but people like me, people with bipolar, normal things aren't always normal for us. So stress, everybody deals with stress, but for me, if I dwell on it long enough, it is going to induce a manic episode. And once it's started, there's not a lot I can do to stop it. Perhaps one day I'll figure it out and make a video about that. But, you really have to identify anything you think may be important or not important. Keep a log of it. And, this video isn't for advice on what to do when you become manic, and I don't think that there's any way to stop mania before it happens, or really stop it unless you were to be prescribed a very high dose of some sort of medication to kind of sedate you through the episode. But I really don't think there's any way of stopping it. But something you can do for major damage control is find what triggers it. And like I said, it's not like you have to keep a journal every time your mood changes, but whenever you find yourself in a full manic episode, whenever you're able to, take a look back at what your life was like for the last week or two before this happened. And if you can find a pattern in that, or if you can identify one thing more than the others that really stuck out to you, that really shook your life up, then maybe you can identify that as a trigger. And my issue with stress being my trigger is that a lot of my stress is external stress, which I have no control over. So I'm still kind of figuring that out, but because I am medicated, the episodes aren't frequent. But I do feel like I accomplished something finding out what my trigger was, and I think that if you can find out what your trigger is, that will help you a lot too. Perhaps if you can't avoid it, and if you can't avoid it, you can recognize that you're in a current state in your life where mania is going to happen, and you can prepare for it and do damage control. Maybe tell some people around you, hey, this is about to happen, I might act a little nuts, kind of keep me in check, keep yourself in check, talk to your doctor. But really, identifying triggers is so much easier than it initially seems. I never thought I would figure out what caused my episodes. But it's so simple to, and I think that it really benefits the outcome of what happens when you come down from your manic episode, and I think it really helps prevent you completely lose it when you become manic. So, I don't know how helpful this is, just wanted to share my experience. Perhaps start looking at your own life and see what you can do to prevent and do damage control. And that's all I gotta say on that.